So let's talk about night shooting. All right. You can get as good as you want during the day. The reality is that chances are bad things happen at night. But you need to practice shooting at night also. Step one of that is you have to be able to see the sights on your weapon. You're going to spend all that fat cash getting a good firearm. You need to spend a little extra money and get good night sights. Get ones with very, very visible dots. Get ones with tritium inserts. You have to be able to see your sights at night. That's the easy part. Practice with them. Low light, you still be able to see it. You have to have enough light on your target to still identify, is it a threat, is it not a threat, is it a threat that warrants deadly force? So besides just sights, you still have to have some light source in order to identify the target as friend or foe. Now there's all kinds of different thought processes one way or the other. Should the visible light be mounted on the gun? Should it be handheld? Handheld lights, yes, they're easy to have. Everybody can carry with them. You can fight with them in a situation that doesn't warrant deadly force. However, when it comes down to the moment of truth, when you're actually going to shoot that firearm, if you've made the decision to draw that firearm, you are in a situation where potentially you need to shoot that firearm. You go to the range, you practice all the different techniques for holding a handheld flashlight. Some will have it where you're doing it with the palm mounted like that, gripping the gun. Others will appear, so you can also use protect your skull. I've even heard of techniques where they hold it out here to the side. Well, that's great. The concept is great because guns are drawn directly to the lights. Makes sense, I've seen it. However, me going through my house for a long period of time, that arm gets really, really heavy if you don't practice that way a lot. If you go to the range and you shoot the same drills on a computerized range and you're actually running that pro timer for hits, practicing each technique, what you will see is the one that most closely matches how you shoot during the day. When you're doing 90% of your practicing, that's going to be your most accurate method for shooting at night. That's why your assault units run pistols with the lights actually mounted on the guns. They practice with it all the time. 100% of their practice during the day applies to it at night. Now, so what I'm talking about is a pistol mounted light. I'm a fan of the Surefire line. Whether you're using 200s or 300s, does not matter. They clip on any modern pistol that has a light rail on it. I've heard the other side say, all right, well now, Karl, you're flagging anybody that you point that light at. Why, yes, I am, okay? I'm already in a situation where I warrant deadly force. If I'm that threatened, then I don't have a problem. Now, I'm not saying point your gun directly at it, but I have searched rooms with the pistol light on my firearm, light on, and I can check furniture. I can keep it low. I can keep it in at the low ready until that threat arises. Right? When it comes to shooting, you will be so much more accurate having a pistol-mounted light. All right, Karl. Now you're not going to carry a gun with your light actually mounted on the gun. Concealed carry, you're not going to do it. So why practice like that? You have to practice with how you're actually going to be carrying. I agree with you 100%. I do not carry my concealed carry pistol with a light mounted on it. It makes it easier to, much harder to conceal. I agree with you. However, the standard handheld light and my Surefire pistol mounted light take roughly the same amount of space, roughly the same amount. As easy as I can keep this in my pocket and use it, pull it out for whatever, you use flashlights all the time. I can just as easily pull this thing out and use it just as easily. It's a very, very easy light to use. Once you get used to it, you make this your everyday carry light, you'll find it's easy to use, easy to keep. The little knick-knack that, well, Karl, the way the spade's set up on the back, it's gonna go off in your pocket all the time. You're gonna run out your batteries. They make little plastic Kydex, little short rails that clip on there, and they'll protect that if you have it in your pocket. Another technique The one I use when I'm carrying stuff on my bat belt is this is a little clip made by Blackhawk. My light clips right on it and it's got the blade on the back to protect it. Takes no space at all on my belt, and it prints about the same as your spare magazines would be. So I need to use my light. I reach back, pull my light out, and I've now got a light in my hand. I use it. You're gonna use your light 100 times for every time you actually use your light mounted on a pistol. So get a light that makes good handheld, but at the moment of truth, when you need to actually place, or you find yourself in a situation where you need to use a weapon mounted light, having it mounted actually on the firearm is gonna be a lot more accurate. In my opinion, there's 100 of them out there. So I challenge you to go back, run all those drills with each type of handheld light, whether it be palm, whether it be held high, whether it's held out. The Bill Rogers technique, there's lots of different lights out there. Try that and then try it with it mounted on the gun. And I guarantee you, if you run a timer, you'll have to agree with me that it is much more accurate and much faster to engage those targets and to differentiate, is it a threat, is it not a threat, is it a threat that warrants deadly force? And at the moment of truth, that's what really matters.